How many of you like gifts? Type gift in the chat box. I have something to give you instead. Yes, would that be awesome? Type gift in the chat box if you would like to get a gift. Yeah, perfect, perfect. Thank you. Now, Shubh, Shubh told you guys a little about me. Let me quickly introduce myself to you. How many of you are meeting me for the first time? Is there anybody who's seen me before? If you're seeing me for the first time, type FT in the chat box. If you've seen me before, type I know you swastik. I know you swastik. Okay, so not even seeing me for the first time. Or if you're seeing me for the first time, fantastic. So, a very quick introduction, taking less than a minute. My name is Swastik Nandakumar. I went from a failed electronics and communication engineer to a musician traveling around the country to starting a few businesses. To be precise, started about seven ventures. All of them went bust. Took up a job, quit that job, took up another job, and then COVID hit, and then that also got messed up. And then I started my journey into consulting. And at this point, I run 4 ventures. 2 of them do 8 figures, 2 of them do 7 figures, and I'm a peak performance coach. I like pushing people to perform at their highest limits, and that's what I do. Right? That's a quick introduction about me. Let me ask you this: how many of you want to do something massive in your life? Type massive in the chat box. Let me see. How many of you want to do something massive in your life? Yeah. Let's see. And if you're going to be here, you are going to have to respond to me. I'd love to have you on video so that I get to see you. You don't have to type in the chat box. It saves you time. But if you're not going to be in your videos, that's fine. You'll have to respond in the chat box. Yes? Massive, massive, massive. Fantastic. Right? How many of you are committed to living your best life? Say I. Let me see. How many of you are committed to living your best life? Yeah? Perfect. Because here's the thing. Today, we're going to be discussing a couple of factors. Let me share that with you. A couple of factors. The first thing that we're going to be discussing is what is the root cause of success. Yes. Now, here's the thing. If you were to get to the root of success and if you were able to replicate it over and over and over and over again in every aspect of your life, only if you think that would be amazing. Yes. Not just in your money, of course, in your money for sure. And I'm, considering you're here with Shubh, I'm quite sure that your money part is taken care of. Yeah. And so the rest of your life, your relationships, your health, your wealth, every aspect, if you were to replicate every part of it, how many of you think that would be awesome? Because that's the first point of discussion, right? And the second part of discussion today, is going to be the steps for you to go from where you are, from your current state to you performing at superhuman levels. How many of you want to be a superhuman in life? Type SH in the chat box if you want to be a superhuman. I'll also explain what superhuman means, but if you have a general feeling and you know what, Swastik, I want to perform at really high levels, I want to perform at superhuman levels, type SH in the chat box. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. The third thing that we're going to be discussing is also, I'm going to show you why most people fail, right? We'll also talk about why most people fail, because it's very important for you to know what is it that leads to success and what is it that leads to failure. Because if you know these two things and if you're able to manage these two things, all success is in between those two. Yeah, perfect. Now today's session is going to be quite short, but like I told you one thing. If you're going to be here, I want to give you a gift. Considering Shubh has gotten me here, I want to give you a gift, and that is a gift for you to spend 3 full days with me. 3 full days with me, going very, very, very deep into playing at superhuman levels, and all of that for absolutely free. If you'd love that. Yes, type ILI. I love it in the chat box. Yeah,
Guys,
3 full days.
Sorry to disturb you, but
Yes.
Here's the thing. Those 3 days are just not like 1 hour each day or 2 hours each day. It's full days. Yes, that means from morning to end. Of course, he's going to give all the details and take the whole show. I just wanted to quickly pop in and just want to tell you that there are thousands of people who have walked through those 3 days, and I have personally been through all those 3 days. It is magical. It is transformational. See, here's the thing. A quick warning. You're going to cry. You're going to be seeing yourself change completely in those 3 days. It's magical. All right. Take my words. There it is. Here you go. It's your man from now. Let's go.
Thank you so much, Shubh. In fact, Shubh was there at our last event for the 3 days, and I could see him scribble on his notes. He was there for 3 full days. He made so much notes, and he went back, and post that is where Shubh has been behind my life to come down to this session, and that's how that happened. And yes, anyways, let's get to this. Let's start the first part of the conversation. And if you're ready, type RTS ready to start in the chat box. And let's talk about the root of success. The root of success. Right? Let's talk about the root of success. Perfect. Thank you so much, Nadeem. Now, the thing is, if you have to grow massively in life, if you want to 10x your life, if you want to 10x your health, your wealth, your relationships, your career, your business, yeah, what you need to know is it all comes down to one thing. It all comes down to one thing. You 10xing any aspect of your life comes down to one thing, that is CDA. CDA stands for continuous directional action. Yes. Continuous directional and continuous directional action. Yeah. Now, let's talk about continuous directional action. The first part, let's break each element down of this whole statement. The first part, which is continuous. Tell me, if you have to be successful at something, is it enough if you do it once? Or do you think you need to be consistent with it? What do you think is the answer? Is it enough to do it once, or do you have to be consistent with it? Anything that you are good at, anything that you want to get great at, anything that you want to excel at, it's very, very important that you become consistent at it. It does not matter if you slow down. And when I say continuous, it doesn't mean that you have to be operating at speed 100 every single time. But it's very important that you're still driving. How many of you agree? Let's say if you want to drive from Bangalore to Pune, if you're driving from Bangalore to Pune, and let's say your average speed is about 100, there are going to be times where you're driving at 150, 160 when you find the roads to be super clean. And there are going to be times where you're going to be driving at 60. All of that is fine. All of that is fine. But the challenge comes down when you stop the car and you stop driving. If you agree. Yes. And here's what most people do. What they do is they start something, they stop something. They start something, stop something. Start something, stop something. And tell me what would happen if you were to take a cake, if you were to start baking a cake, and every 5 minutes you stopped and you checked if the cake is done or not. What do you think would happen? Yeah, it wouldn't be done, right? That's exactly what I'm talking about. The first thing is you need to be headed in a continuous direction, which means you need to take action continuously. Now, the second factor, which is directional. Now, what does it mean to get directional? Let me ask you, again, Bangalore to Pune, the distance is about 1,000 kilometers. Yes. Now, a lot of people with the intention of doing things, they get started and they start driving. Let's say if I start driving, is it enough if I drive 1,000 kilometers in any direction, or is it important that I drive 1,000 kilometers in a specific direction? What do you think is important? Yes. It's important that I drive in a specific direction. Yes, Inder. Perfect. Now, but here's what happens. In the thought of action, without you really checking if you're going in the right direction or not, if you just keep driving, there's a very high possibility you will end up somewhere. For sure, you'll end up somewhere. But there's a very high possibility you will not land up where you want to go. And then you start wondering, Swastik, I've put in so much effort, but I don't know how I landed up here. How many of you feel that at this point in time? Type IFI, I feel it. If you've been driving for quite some time and you don't know how you landed at this point, that's exactly the reason. Yes, thank you for being honest. Really appreciate it. So the second aspect, like I said, is it has to be directional. You have to ensure that the direction is right. Yeah. Now, how do you ensure it's directional? One word for you, that is feedback. You have to ensure that you're getting feedback consistently when you're driving. For instance, if I'm driving from Bangalore to Pune, there are markers that tells me that I'm headed towards Pune, yes. Which means in life, you need to stop and pause and see if you're headed in the right direction or not. How many of you agree that's a very important part? Type VI in the chat box if you'd agree if it's a very important part. Now, here's the thing. I have about 30 minutes for the session today, not much time because I have to enter into another session. But here's what I promise Shubh, and here's what I promise you as well. I'm not going to be able to show you the milestones at this point in time. But like I said, I told Shubh that I'm going to give all of you a gift, which is a 3-day event with me this very weekend, where I'm going to give you all the pointers, all the markers to check if you're going in the right direction or not. How many of you think that would really help you? Type I in the chat box because I want to give that to you. Perfect. So what you need is feedback. What you need is feedback, right? You need to get feedback if you're headed in the right direction or not. Yeah. Now, two parts. First, continuous. The second one is directional. Now, coming to the third part, which is action itself. Which is action itself. Let me ask you this question as well. When do you take action? Think about this for a minute. When do you take action? In any aspect of your life. Could be in your career, could be in your relationship, could be in your health. Inder says, when I'm dead. Melanie says, when I have clarity. Yes, that's a good answer. Of course, Inder's answer is also quite accurate. When you're desperate, when you really need to take action, you're like, you do whatever it takes, yes or no? So which means the answer to this question is, all of you are going to give me different answers, but all of it is going to come to one point. You're going to take action when you feel like taking action, yes or yes. In Inder's situation, when he feels the pressure, extreme pressure of not taking action, and you're like, something is going to go wrong, that's when you take action, yes. In Melanie's case, only when she knows that this is exactly what I have to do, that's when she takes action, yes. But the point is, you still take action when you feel like taking action. Please remember this. You still take action. So, which means we take action when we feel like taking action. When we feel good. When we feel good, that's where we take action. Yes. Now, let's break this down. Let's break this down. So we realize that we take action when we feel like taking action. Now, let's understand what leads to our feelings. Let me ask you, what do you think leads to your feelings? What is the cause of your feelings? Yes. What is the cause of your feelings? What leads to your feelings? Thoughts, right? Thoughts. Perfect. Okay. Your thoughts leads to your feeling, which means when you have good thoughts, or when you have stressful thoughts, or when you have some thoughts, it creates a feeling in you, and you're like, now I have to do it. Yes, the feeling is what leads to action. Yes. Now, which means we've realized that if we are able to get ourselves into this feeling, we can get ourselves into a state of action. Yes. But now there are a couple of ways to deal with this. Let's understand each way to deal with this. The first way to dealing with this is by changing your thoughts. How many of you have heard of this statement? You need to have positive thoughts in life. And if you have positive thoughts in life, your life changes, yes. And how many of you write affirmations? You type affirmations in the chat box or type A in the chat box? Yes, if you have the habit of writing affirmations or positive thinking. Now, there's one problem that I have with positive thinking. Yeah, one problem that I have with positive thinking. And the problem is positive thinking doesn't work. That is the problem that I have with positive thinking. Because think about this for a minute. Let's say you are in a soup, you're in deep shit, you're in trouble, and something is really gone wrong. And one way to go about it is you suddenly realize, okay, I need to think positive. And what do you start? I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. But the problem is your body and your mind is saying, this is bullshit, dude, you're not happy. You're stressed out and your life is going down the drain. You're not happy. Your body doesn't believe it. Your mind doesn't believe it. How many of you know exactly what I'm talking about? Type I know it. Yes. And that's the problem with positive thinking, or that's the problem with trying to change your thoughts. Yeah. So positive thinking is not really the route, is not really the way to work towards thinking. I'll tell you where positive thinking works. Positive thinking works when you're already happy. If you'd agree. Positive thinking amplifies your existing empowering state. Let's say if you're feeling good, and then you stack it up with a feeling of happiness, then you stack it up with a feeling of gratitude. When you stack it up with a lot of these feelings, you're like, oh my God, this is beautiful. It just magnifies. But when you're in trouble, positive thinking doesn't really help you. If anything, it makes you feel more bad. How many of you know that also? You feel idiotic for saying, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, where your life is falling apart. Yes. Now, let's go to the other side. Let's try to tackle it with action. Yeah? Which means, like swastik, fuck the thoughts. Let's get into action directly. Because ultimately you have to take action. Fair, right? Posters that say, try and try again till you succeed. All of these posters are nice to put in the background. But in practicality, it doesn't help you as well. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. All of these quotes that you put Failure is the stepping stone of success. All of these things you're reminded when things are going good again, not when things are going bad. Yeah. Now, that being said, I'm not going to leave you there. I'm not going to leave you there. I'm also going to tell you what to do next. Right? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. What you really need is the ability to change your feelings. The ability to change your feelings, the ability to control and man. That is crucial for you. Write this down. This is the feeling of certainty. This is the feeling of certainty. And this is one of our core feelings that we have, a need for us to feel certain, a need for us to feel sure, a need for us to feel like this has to happen. For example, in Inder's case, even when things get very, very tense, that's where you take action, where you're desperate to take action. Think about that. At that point, you have a very strong feeling that I'm very certain that if I don't take action now, I'll never be able to take action in life. Yes. I'm very certain that if I don't take action now, I'll get fired. I'm very certain that if I don't take action now, something will go wrong. Is this making sense to you? In Melanie's case, where she said that I need clarity. Again, what is clarity? Clarity again is certainty. I need to know exactly what has to happen first, what has to happen next, what has to happen third. And if you think this makes sense, Sumanta, do you think this makes sense? This is the feeling that you need, the feeling of certainty. And this is the core human need, by the way. This is the need of the human being for you to feel certain. And see, think about this. When do we procrastinate? We procrastinate when you feel uncertain. You by default are not a procrastinator. You just don't have clarity, and that's the reason you procrastinate. For example, if you've been procrastinating getting started with some task in your life, the reason you've been procrastinating is you've not created a certain set of steps to say, I need to start here, then go here, then go here, then go here, then go here. And as a result, your mind does not have certainty, and a mind that does not have certainty will never agree to get started. If you think this makes sense. There's a bulb on for you? Yeah. Same thing. When do you decide to quit? When do you decide to quit? You decide to quit your job, or when you decide to quit your existing task, or you decide to quit an activity when you feel uncertain about something. You feel unsure about it. You feel like, I'm not sure this is going to help me anymore. When do you, how many of you do sales calls here? I'm guessing all of you sitting here, you do some or the other sales calls with your client. Yes. Now, when do you mess up a sales call? When you mess up a sales call, you mess up a sales call when you're uncertain about how the client is going to react. Yes. When do you not start things? When you feel uncertain. So the primary need that we have as a human being, write this down, is certainty. Now, you've understood a few parts. For you to see success, you need continuous directional action. Yes. And we've also understood that all action is a derivative of feelings. And we also understood the feeling that we're looking for is the feeling of certainty. How many of you are with me so far? Type WYS with you, swastik. Yes. Now, if you're with me so far, let's understand the paradox of life. By the way, I like breaking all human concepts and performance concepts down to steps like this because it makes me certain. Yes. And it makes it clear for the other person. How many of you are getting crazy clarity? Type CC in the chat box if you're getting very clear on exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. Now, perfect. Thank you. Now let's go here. Let's understand this. If our core need is certainty, the paradox of life is dash. Fill in the blanks, please. Tell me. Life is dash. If our core need is certainty, life is, let's get this. Life is what? Life is uncertain. Yes. How many of you are understanding why you're so confused in life? Because our core need is certainty, but the primary criteria of life is uncertain. You don't know what could happen tomorrow. Yeah. Now, this is where I tell you who a superhuman is. This is where I tell you who a superhuman is. A superhuman is not somebody who wears a cape. or not somebody who has superpowers, not somebody who necessarily jumps out of buildings and saves thousands and thousands of people. According to me, a superhuman is a person who's able to create certainty, who's able to generate or create certainty when everything is uncertain. When the whole world is uncertain, when everybody's life is uncertain, a superhuman is a person who is able to create a sense of certainty within himself. If you think that makes sense, type SH in the chat box if you understood what a superhuman is, or who a superhuman is rather. Yes. Superhuman is somebody who is able to bring in that sense of certainty within himself or within herself, where everything in the world might be falling apart. This person is able to create a sense of certainty. Because think about it. What is the only thing that you can control in life? The only thing you can control in life is how you feel. You can control that. At this point, you might feel like, Swastik, I don't think I can. And you might be bouncing off with random things. You're letting everybody else control you. But the only actual thing that you can control in life is how you feel. And I'm going to show you all of these things in those 3 days. But today I'm here to get you started. But how many of you are already excited? Type SE, super excited in the chat box. Yes, of course you can control it. Of course you can control it. Yeah. Now, let's go slightly deeper. Let's go slightly deeper into the superhuman. Who's a superhuman? First, I told you, who's a superhuman? He's able to create certainty on demand. COD is not cash on delivery, right? COD here is certainty on demand, which means does not rely on the outside to create certainty, right? This is superhuman. Now, that's the first factor. The second factor of a superhuman is, write this down. It's P, P, P. A superhuman is able to push past what he or she thinks is possible. Push past the possible. Push past the possible. Think about this. Let me ask you this question. If you're going to the gym, and if you want to build muscle, does it happen by you taking a very weak weight and lifting it 100 times? Or does it happen by you taking a good heavy weight and maybe lifting it 12 times? What do you think will build you that muscle? Scenario 1 or scenario 2? Yes, you would say it's scenario 2, of course. Right? Scenario 2 is what is going to build you that muscle. Now, you're going to take a good heavy weight and going to lift it 12 times. Tell me, which repetition is going to give you the most amount of impact? Which repetition is going to give you the most amount of impact to building that muscle? Which one? Put it in the chat box. Let me see. Which repetition is going to give you the most amount of impact? Think. Nothing complex. If you're doing 12 reps, if you're doing 12 reps with a good weight, which repetition is going to give you the most impact? The 13th one, right? The one past failure. The 13th one. It's not even the 12th one. It's the 13th one. The one extra that you do will make all the difference. Yes. Which means pushing past possible is what gives you all the effort. Every time, right? And by the way, make this a motto in your life. Make this a rule in your life. Make this a mantra in your life. If I can't, then I must. If I can't, then I must. Every time, the minute you feel I can't, if you put in all the energy, think about this. Let's assume at the 12th rep is where you're extremely tired and your muscles are saying, no, you can't do this anymore. And that's where, for the 13th one, you have to synthesize a strength from every part of your body, every cell in your body, and then you push on that 13th rep. That is going to create that's going to create a human being that way. Type I in the chat box. I'd agree. Yes. Makes you proud to even think about it. Yes. Perfect. So this is where you push past the possible. Push past the possible. Which means, how do you do this in daily life? I'm not just going, this is not a motivational thing. How do you do this in daily life? For example, let's say if you're sitting to read a book and after 10 pages, you're like, nothing is going in my head. I'm done. You deciding to just put in all the focus that's left in you to read that one additional page, that is you pushing past the possible. If you got that. Yes. Same thing with workout. One extra rep, that is pushing past possible. The one extra sales call that you make every single day, which will lead to 30 extra sales calls, which can potentially lead to a closing of 20%, which will lead to a closing of 6 calls with a ticket of 1 lakh, that'll lead you to 6 lakhs. And if you think that would be amazing, type amazing in the chat box. This is where you push past possible. Yes. Now, same thing with, let's say, if you're using social media. If you're using social media, if you're on the phone, if you're scrolling, if you're on your phone and you're going, if you're scrolling, you're scrolling, here's what you do. Here's what you do. You say, I'm just going to put my phone down for just 1 minute. Just 1 minute and then get to work. And if in 1 minute, if you still feel like using social media, please pick it up again, no problem. Try this the next time. See what happens. See what happens. If you're on social media, the minute you realize, okay, I've been on social media, first just decide that I'm just going to put it down for a minute. Because when you try to convince your mind that you need to stop using social media, your mind is not going to oblige. How many of you would agree? It's going to give you more reasons to stay. But convincing your mind to just put down your phone for 1 minute is very easy. How many of you think you have that much self-control at least? 100%, yes. So convincing your mind to just put your phone down for 1 minute is very easy. In that 1 minute, put it down and start working and see what happens. Or vice versa. Let's say if you're sitting to work and if you have the urge to pick up your phone, check your WhatsApp message, check your Instagram, just tell yourself, I'm going to work for just 1 extra minute. Tell yourself, I'm going to go on my phone, I'm going to check my messages. Let me just work for 1 additional minute and let's see it. And I'll post that, I'll do it. And get this, if after 1 minute, if you still feel like picking up the phone, please pick it up and use it. But 9 out of 10 times, you're not going to want to pick it up. This one point itself could change the game for you. Try it out. Yes. So the second one is push past possible, right? And the third characteristic of a superhuman, right, is his ability to control the 3S. Let me explain what the 3 S's are, right? And today, here's the thing. I'm just giving you the 3 factors, right, of you being a superhuman. What is the first factor? Is able to create certainty on demand. I told you one of the crucial feelings is for you to feel certain. But here's the thing. In the next 10 minutes that I have, I'm not going to be able to help you, or I'm not going to be able to show you how to create certainty. But this weekend, I'm going to give you the exact steps. I'm going to show you how to bring in that certainty in demand. How many of you think that would be amazing? Any situation, if you're feeling uncertain about sales, if you're feeling uncertain about your webinar, if you're feeling uncertain about your client, any situation, I'm going to show you in a second, how do you go from feeling uncertain to feeling super powerful in a second? If you think that would be awesome. Yes, which means the next Monday, the exact next Monday, you are going to be able to create certainty like this. Think that would be amazing? Yeah, perfect. So today I'm just going to give you the outline of it. Those 3 days, I'm going to take you through the entire thing. Yeah, perfect. Now, he's able to control the 3 S. The first S stands for strategy. The first S stands for strategy, right? Now, strategy, everybody, when they're doing something new, when they're doing something different, or when something is not working out, the first thought that they have is, I don't think I have the right strategy. Yes. And you feel like only if you had a different strategy, your life would be very different. But here's one thing that I have to tell you. Your right strategy is important, but strategy is just 1/3 of the thing. And one more thing that I can also tell you is most of you already have a good strategy, but you're executing on it very weakly. Is that a possibility? Yes. Because think about it. Let's say if Warren Buffett just himself sits with you and gives you his entire investing strategy, and if you're investing from a state of fear, if you're investing from a state of lack, if you're investing from a point of, I don't think I'll be able to do this, you take $1 billion strategy and perhaps you'll end up losing a few lakhs. And if you think that's very possible, yes or yes. So a good strategy with poor execution is the ultimate disaster. Yes. So the first thing is you need a good strategy, but the thing you need to know about is strategy is available in plenty. And I already know and feel, considering you're here with Shubh and considering you've attended his sessions, I'm very sure that you already have the right strategy. How many of you think you already have a right strategy? Type I in the chat box. Yes, I believe all of you already have the right strategy. Now, that's the first S. The first thing you need is the strategy. The second thing that you need to work on, if you really want to do well on the strategy that you have, is you need the right story. You need the right story. What is the story? Story is the message that's running in your head on loop. Story is the message that's running in your head on loop, which essentially means this is your belief system. For example, let me give you a quick story. A quick story of a story that was running in my head right now. So recently I was having dinner with my mom, and we were having dinner. Mom says, "Swastik, go into the kitchen, get the salt. I need salt." I told mom, I don't know where the salt is. She said, "It's right on the kitchen slab. You can go see it. You'll be able to see it as you walk in." I said, "Mom, but I don't know where the salt is." She said, "Swastik, just go. I will guide you once you go in." I said, "I don't know where the salt is." Then she got really pissed off. "Are you going to go or not?" I said, "Okay, I'm going to go." Right? But as I was getting up as well, the only thing that's running in my head is, I don't know where the salt is. I don't know where the salt is. I don't know where the salt is. I went to the kitchen. I don't know where the salt is. Walked to the slab. I don't know where the salt is. Mom, I don't know where the salt is. I can't see the salt. Mom says, "It's right there." I said, "I cannot see it. You think I'm lying?" Mom is furious. Mom is pissed off. She comes to the kitchen. I kid you not. It was right in front. Only if you know exactly what I'm talking about. Have you been in this situation? Have you been in this situation? Now, here's the thing. Was I lying to her when I said I could not see the salt? I wasn't lying to her when I said I could not see the salt, right? And this point, when this happened, I came back and I started doing some research on why this actually happened. Because when I say I didn't see the salt, it was right obviously in front of me, like right in front. It was not in, behind something, front of something, it was bloody right in front. And this got me thinking. I did some research, and here's the science that I found behind this. When you truly believe something exists or something does not exist, your eyes, the study showed that your eyes creates a virtual blind spot, which means what is in front of you, you actually do not see it. How many of you think that is crazy? Now, I'll tell you where it gets crazier. Think about this for a minute. Seeing salt, not seeing salt is okay. But how many of you think that because of the story that's running in your head, you could be missing out on opportunities that is exactly in front of you? How many of you think that's a possibility? It's 100% possible. Most of the people, they have a bad story running in their heads. And let's say there's a money-making opportunity right in front. They're missing out on it primarily because of the story in their heads. If you believe that I can only make 20,000 rupees, or I can never make more than 50,000 rupees, or whatever your number is, whenever there is an opportunity of 1 lakh or 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs, even if it's front of you, you do not see it. If you can't see the salt, it's very fair for you to say that I'm not seeing that as well. Yes or yes. Which means the story in your head either creates your blind spots, or it creates your opportunities. So until and unless you change the story in your head, you will take a very good strategy and you will mess that strategy up. How many of you are understanding exactly what I'm talking about? Type I understand. If this is a Balban, type BOM, Balban moment in the chat box. Yeah? Perfect. Now, then, so second S is the story. The second S is the story. Now let's go to the third S. The third S. How do you work on the right story? How do you change your story? The way to change your story is to change your state. Now, here's the thing. This is where I'm going to need you to have your videos on for the next 2 minutes. For the next 2 minutes before I leave you, before we are done, right? Before we are done. The third one is for you to change your story. Quickly have your videos on. Because, the third one is you need to work on your state. You need to change your state, right? Now, what is the state? When I talk about the state, I'm talking about your physical state, your physiology, your body. Let me ask you this question. If you see a person who is upset, a person who is depressed behind a curtain, if I tell you that there's a curtain in front and behind this curtain, there's a person who is upset and depressed, how do you think this person's body language is going to be? Do you think his shoulders are going to be out, or do you think his shoulders are going to be down? What do you think is going to be the case? Out or down? Yeah? Shoulders are going to be down, yes or no? Yes. Is this person's head going to be up, out, or is it going to be low and down? What do you think is going to be the case? It's going to be low and down. Yes. Is this person going to be smiling, or is this person going to be frowning? The person is going to be frowning. Right? Now, these are just few obvious ones, but there are so many physiological states that dictate a particular emotion. Studies show that for every facial expression, a small change in your cheeks going up and down, it triggers a different emotion in you. How many of you think that is crazy? For instance, the reason I wanted you to have your videos on right now is for the next 30 seconds, I want you to smile for no good reason. Let's go. Smile. Just keep smiling. Just keep smiling. All of your videos on and smile. Let's go. Yes. Keep smiling for the next 30 seconds. Just smile. Just smile. Just smile. Let's go. Let's go. All the videos on. Let's see. Yes. Oh, good to see you guys. By the way, you look good. Why weren't you on your video so far?
All these
Looking
guys,
good,
come
all of
on,
you.
guys. You guys are coaches. I understand you're guarded. I understand that it takes a lot for you to come in front of camera. Am I right? How many of you guys are resonating? Yes.
Keep smiling. Keep smiling. Keep smiling. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Keep smiling. Let's go. Let's go. Yes. Now, 20 more seconds. Keep smiling. 20 more seconds. Because I'm trying to prove, make a point here. Trying to make a point. Keep smiling. Even if you don't feel like it, just smile. Even if you don't feel like it, if your body doesn't feel like it, just smile. Keep smiling. Don't stop. Don't stop. Even if you feel awkward, I don't want you to stop smiling. Right? Teeth out, that kind of smile. Not teeth out, fully teeth out, and that kind of smile. All right. Perfect. 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 Now, let me ask you, you've been smiling. Tell me how you feel as a result of you smiling. We didn't do anything else. We just smiled very weirdly. How do you feel? How do you feel? Put that in the chat box. Do you feel different in comparison to what you felt 1 minute ago? Yes. Do you feel different as compared to a minute ago? Yes or yes? 100% yes. That is what I mean by the state. And now the smile is one factor. There's so many other factors which I'm going to be discussing across those 3 days. But the point is, if you're able to change your state, yes, if you're able to change your state, when you are in an empowered state, when you're in a happy state, it's very easy for you to work your story or change your beliefs. Because most people, when they're trying to work on their story or their beliefs, they're doing it from a disempowered state. If you understood this. If you try to change your belief with a lower state, you're never going to be able to change your belief. And if you don't change your story in your head, there's no amount of strategies, there's no strategy that can save your life. Is this making sense? Yes. How many of you are ready to take full control of your life and become a superhuman? Type SH in the chat box, because I have something absolutely crazy for you. Absolutely crazy for you. Ready for this? And for this, I think you have to be on your videos. If I have to give you something absolutely crazy, I think it only makes sense. Let me actually give it to Melanie, Sumanto, Nadeem, Kanav, Aparna, and Mark, and Rama as well. Let me give it to them. And Inder as well. Inder has been active on the chat. And Sanha said she's not keeping well. That's fine. That's fine. So I'll give it to her as well. Let me give it to Inder. I see you. Perfect. Beautiful. Right. So I'm going to give it to these few people who are here. This is called the Superhuman Challenge. It's a 3-day program. And here's the thing. I kid you not. People in the past, they've paid 30,000 plus GST to be a part of this program. I'm going to do something crazy for you, like I said. Because Shubh is here. I'm going to give it to you for absolutely free. On one condition. There is a catch. On one condition. How many of you want to know what is the condition? Ask me what. Show me your hands. Ask me what. Do this. What is the condition, Swastik? Yeah, perfect. Let me tell you what the condition is. The condition is you have to promise to attend these 3 days like you have paid over ₹1 lakh. You don't have to pay me ₹1 lakh, but I want you to attend this like you've paid over 1 lakh rupees. How many of you are willing to do that? Yes, right. I want you to type it in the chat box. I'm willing to attend it like I have paid 1 lakh. Put that in the chat box. Only then I'll give it to you. I'll give you the timings right now. It's happening on the next Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and the coming Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yes, I'm willing to attend this like I've paid 1 lakh. The whole statement, the whole statement. Willing to attend it like I've paid 1 lakh. Only then you get it. Yes, I'm willing to attend it like I have paid 1 lakh. Yes, Aparna, Ambu, Sumanto. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Vivek, perfect. Emmanuel, let's go, let's go. In that case, this, let me actually, let me give this to you. It's a 3-day program. Let me give you the dates as well first. It's a 3-day program. Happening on these 3 dates. Right, 1 second. It's happening on these 3 days. First one, it's happening on the 23rd. Can you see my screen? Yes. 23rd August is the first day. Day 1 is 23rd August. Now, a lot of you are working professionals. I do understand that you might be busy on that day. So on that day, on 23rd, which is a Friday, we start at 5:45 p.m. What time do we start? Yes, we start at 5:45 p.m., right? 5:45 p.m. Yeah. And on 24th August, which is a Saturday, we start at 10:45 a.m. What time do we start? We start at 10:45 a.m. Now, if you notice, I'm just giving you the start time. I'm not giving you the end time. Can I tell you why? Because we end when we are done. How many of you think that's okay? I'm going to be there till all your questions are answered. I'm going to be there till I give you every possible thing that I can in a span of 3 days. How many of you think that would be amazing? Everything that you need to take control of your state, everything that you need to take control of your story, everything that you need to take control of your strategy, everything that's required for you to shift and create that superhuman in you. And if you're ready for that. Yes, perfect. 24th, we start at 10:45 a.m. and 25th also we start at 10:45. 25th is a Sunday, we start at 10:45 a.m. How many of you are clear? Yes, type SC, super clear. And if you're excited, type excited. Yeah. Because day one, we're going to get started and I'm going to show you how to blast through any obstacle in the way of you achieving your goals. Right? I'm going to get you to discover, I'm going to get you to get inside yourself and look into your innermost fears and get them out so that you can perform at the next level. How many of you are up for that? Like I said, people have paid a lot of money in the past. Right? We're doing this for one reason. If I can impact as many people as possible in the country of India by sharing this knowledge, I've spent over 1 crore in my personal education at this point in time. And one thing that keeps happening is all my friends are in the US. And they keep telling me about how crazy their life. I feel if I can make the young India powerful, if young India can perform at superhuman levels, I believe India can become one of the best countries to live in the coming years. It already is. A lot of people don't know it. It already is. The kind of things that we have in India, no other country has it. But I'm on a mission to make young India powerful. And that's one of the reasons we decided to create the Superhuman Challenge and take it out of it being a paid program and giving it out to you. The only condition being you have to be willing to play full out and attend like you've paid over 1 lakh. You have to be with your videos on. Today, it was a last minute thing, I do understand. But that day, if you're going to be attending it, you have to be there with your videos on. And for this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, over 2,500 people have registered for it. And our Zoom can take only 1,000 people. Last batch, day 1, 1,000 people were in, 500 people were locked out of the room. Because I told them that we start, the reason when I asked you to join at 5:45, we start at 6 o'clock. The reason I asked you to join at 5:45 is so that you can get a seat. Yes, you can get a seat. But the point is, I want you to be there. Is that okay? Day 1 and day 2 and day 3. I'm going to install these 3 superhuman elements in you. I'm going to show you how to create that certainty on demand like this which means next Monday, the very next Monday at this point in time, if you feel uncertain, if you feel unsure, you're going to know exactly what to do. And in 10 seconds, I'm going to show you how to shift from a state of uncertainty to a state of certainty. How many of you think that would be amazing in life? How many of you would agree that your life will be very different if you just had that one thing? And this is not just something that I'm saying. On Sunday night, I'm going to ask you this question. I'm going to ask you, did I stand to my promise? Did I deliver on what I told you? And let's see what you say. How many of you think that's fair? Yes. Perfect. Yeah. Now, here's the thing. If you want the Superhuman Challenge, here's what you have to do. There's a link. I'm going to put it in the chat box. I'm going to put this link in the chat box. Right. Link in the chat box. Click on the link. Register for it. And you're going to be taken to another WhatsApp group. We're not going to be putting any more updates in your existing group because it's only for the people who have attended today, only for the people who register here. All right, not for anybody else. Click on the link, register for it. I'll see you on those 3 days. I guarantee to you is life will never be the same. Sounds good? Yeah. Oh, one more thing. I forgot one more date that you need to make a note of. One more date that you need to make a note of. First of all, these are the 3 dates: Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This is Friday. This is Saturday. And this is Sunday. Right? These are the 3 dates. But one more date that I want you to remember is day after tomorrow itself. Day after tomorrow, which is 21st. 21st. Right? 21st at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. 21st at 7 p.m. 6:45 p.m. 7 p.m. Right? 21st is the orientation. 21st is the orientation session where I'm going to show you how to come prepared for the 3 days, because you're going to have to buy a few things. When I say buy a few things, simple things, nothing complex, simple things that you can get from your local grocery guy or a local bookstall. But a few things that you need to be ready with, and there's a dress code for you to attend this program. Yes, I'm going to give you all those details on the 21st. So that's day after tomorrow. Yes, if you're done, if you're ready, if you joined in, and if you're excited, and if you're going to be there, type IWBT, I will be there. And I will see you on those 3 days with my man Shubh. It'll be a lot of fun. And I'm very excited for you to be a superhuman. Let me see who all are joining in. Vardhan, Zahir, Vivek, Ambu, Vivek. Kanav, very excited to see you. Yes, perfect. Sanha, Santosh, I'm going to be seeing Santosh. Very nice. Who else am I going to be seeing? Satish. Awakening Academy, what's your name? Let me know your name as well. Satish is going to be joining. Rohit is going to be joining. Perfect. Yes. Beautiful. I'm very excited to see you. It's going to be a lot of fun. And like I said, life will never be the same. I will see you day after for the orientation session. And that's about it. So thank you so much for having me down here. Yes.
Thank you so much for the free gift. Yes. Awesome.
Thank
Did you
you.
guys enjoy it? Did you guys love it? It's like, Swastik, I'll tell you one thing. So it was like a very last minute invitation to all of these people. We just told them about this yesterday because, yeah, a lot of crazy things were happening. And how many of you guys are grateful for Swastik to come here and actually show you all the cool things? Yeah, Vardhan says he has enjoyed. What about all of you guys? Did you guys truly enjoy this? Yes, the last minute made it much more exciting. Yes. Actually, even like, yeah, really grateful. Awesome. Thanks, everybody. And here's the thing. Even if it's your wedding, no matter what's happening, cancel that, right? Cancel on that and make sure you show up for the 3-day event. It's going to be phenomenally crazy. Yes, put in crazy amount of efforts, hard work for that. Yes, and again, as he said, your life will never be the same. Dress code, all these things he'll give you on those orientation date. Swastik, if you can quickly just mention that. There you go. Guys, take a screenshot and all these things. Again, cancel my weddings. Yes. Just like the guys, take a screenshot of this because other people who missed it, they might not get the special free gift. And again, that's it. I love this aura. Of course, Swastik is a magical personality. Yes. Awesome. Thanks, everybody. It's launchatscale.com/superhuman. It's a free seat. Get your free seat. 3 days. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll also be there with you. And yeah, that's it. Any closing statements, brother?
Nothing else, man. So see, here's the thing. The only thought when we've been doing this for free earlier, when we used to do this for pay, when we get people to pay for it, people are going to show up, right? People take this seriously. The only thought that I've had when making this free uh, is is that I don't know if I give something this valuable for free, are people going to, take it seriously or not? So, like I said, we might never do this again, primarily because we don't know if this works out. When people pay money, people take it seriously. We've seen this. I've been in the industry for long enough to know that. But just it's a shot. It's a shot. So if you get it, you get it, and that's how it is. So if you're serious about it, I'd love to see you. I'd love to see you participate. Yeah, like I said like I told you, the reason we're doing it for free is because we wanted to reach out to. I want to reach out to a majority of India, because when the more I've been learning about this, more I've been reading about this, the more I start to realize that there are few things. If you can create a shift, it can create a tremendous impact in your life. And there's one huge section of India that genuinely cannot afford, to make things possible. So we just want to reach out to as many people as possible, and we have been seeing that in the last two events that we did. There was a good section of 200, 300 people who really came down from lines where they did not have money to afford it. And that's one of the reasons we are doing it. It's just that I want to make a huge impact in the country of India. That's one of my primary reasons here. And a lot of things, one I'll tell you one other thing is because students, I feel that if I really have to empower young India, I have to be able to empower students as well. So I create a lot of content. I have over 300 episodes on my podcast, and I do this. This is an addition that I'm doing for, what is already there. This is in addition. People pay me anywhere between 2 lakhs to 16 lakhs to work closely with me. But those are for entrepreneurs, serious people who really want to take things to the next level. But anybody who's there, I should be able to help them. That's the intention. That's good. Perfect.
Awesome, guys. Launchatscale.com/superhuman. Get your seat in. I promise, again, it's going to be one of the best 3 days of your life. Yes.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good day, and I will see you in the 3 days. Bye bye. Thank you. Thank you, Shubh. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thanks, guys. Take care.